Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices, and starting with the DAX here on the daily chart. The wave 4 pullback, we're looking at the 38.2% here. Okay, so that comes through here to the top of this box basically, and the wave 4 of one lesser degree is also at the bottom of this box here. But I don't think that's going to be the case, and my reasoning behind that is that, well, firstly, I know that the DAX can lag the US markets, and then if they lag too far behind, they're a bit like an elastic band and they'll catch up quite quickly. But there is a point of how far they can lag. So, for instance, if this market moves up here as wave B, because we're looking for an A wave and a B wave and a C wave down through to here, the time that gets down here, the S&P 500, if I can just drag that across in a moment, looking for, well, let's just go for this intermediate wave 3 of 5 here. So we're looking at a move to move up into the 2,500 area here. So while that's moving up here, we can also see, obviously, that the DAX is moving up through here as well. But if the DAX moved up to here, and then move down to here, then this would put it too far behind the S&P 500 and the US banking system and so on. So I think that there's a fair call to say that wave 4 can already be in place here, and we'll be looking for wave 5 to be moving up here, and then would only be lagging somewhat a little bit as well. So from this wave 4 here, the DAX is 1 and 2, and all the way up here for 3. We can also, we haven't really used this chart before, but this is the EuroNext, and this is the 100 top companies. And when they say the top 100 companies in Europe, I think it's got something to do with they must trade 20% of their capitalization each day. So, but I like this chart because what it does, it really helps sort out a very sort of the DAX has been a very complicated third wave up here, been very sort of messy. But this market here is to me is reasonably clean. There's there's a few rough spots in there, but from this wave 4, we've got intermediate wave 1 and 2 here, and then going up to intermediate wave 3 here. Whoops, daisy, just squash that down a bit into here. Sorry about that. I can see it, but you couldn't see it. So we've got 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 3, then wave 4 pulling back nicely, and this move back here in all the European markets is in 3 waves. Now on the indexes here too, why I'm here, in about 95% of the cases is that when we look at the futures market, this is the low here, but on the physical market, this is the low here. So I've just used that on the futures market, but whichever way you count these here, we are looking at a 3-wave correction. You could actually also put wave A here as well, and in some cases under here, but whichever way I count it, it still ends up in 3 waves. And the other thing that I find interesting is this is wave 4 here, and this is also wave 4 of one lesser degree here. So there's also something quite familiar about this particular pattern here to this one here, where we have this sort of rough spot coming down in the first instance, and then a nice sharp 5 wave. So a rough spot in the first section is wave A, and then a nice simple C wave for wave 4 here. So I think that these are the same structures, just reoccurring patterns, except because we're looking at a minor wave 4 here and a minute wave 4 here, which is a degree higher. So when we use the trading levels as price over here, we look at the ratio as it further goes out at 60%. So I always just use as a guide stick the next degree higher, such as a minor wave 4 over the minute wave 4, as a pattern that would be 60% bigger. Now, I don't know if that's true. I've never done anything about that, but just visually looking at it, it always gives me some sort of perspective to work within, so I can start looking at, this high here and this high here, and thinking it's going to be 60% bigger. Then I can start thinking of, well, what number are we working at here? And obviously there's a big gap here, so that could come into play, and the minor level below the next level and so on. But look, anyway, I just thought the EuroNet was a very simple count. So I think that the European markets are actually lagging, and even though I just think they're lagging, and I think that yes, it's possible that these wave fours could get more complicated, but I think we're done and dusted. I think that we're going to be moving up from this stage here, and I think this is the same for the DAX as well. I don't have any evidence of this so far, but I think that we'll be moving up into this space here to get this intermediate wave 3 here. So we still have to stay with the evidence, and the evidence is that we'll be on the 4-hour chart for the DAX here. We'll be looking at an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave for wave 4 here, but I'm thinking that we're already in play here and we'll be moving further up. We're quite close to the 61.8% retracement level here as well. So this is the actual low here on the physical market. So we can move up into this space here. Just grab my little drawing tool here, 61.8%. So we're in the box here, right? So 12.7 sort of area here. So this move up here so far can be an A wave, B wave, and C wave into this space and move down from here. It's only if we can get 5 waves up here that that I'll know, but that's not quite true, because when we finish this leg here from here up to here, then when that starts correcting, I'll know of it. Freudian slip. If it is corrective here, then we know that we're not only going to get the 5th wave up here, but then we'll get, and then we'll go further up from that point. So I think understanding this move here, either in 3 waves or 5 waves, is where we should really be focusing in on. And this is the same for all the European markets, including the Brits as well. So on the hourly chart here, just to drill in and clean some of that sort of mess up a little bit here, just on the hourly chart here, I'm basically thinking of it like this here. So wave 1 here, wave 2 here, not a problem, that fits out. This wave 3 here to me is not finished yet. We still need to make a new high above here. This is basically, if I can borrow that there, copy that, that's a little wave 4 here, wave 3 here, wave 2 in here. Well, yeah, I'll just leave that there. So we're still looking for wave 5 to move. It may not reach the 12.8. There's a lot of numbers in here that are important. 12,720, keep an eye on that, and also 12,772 in here as well. A little bit higher up in there, but you get the message. So those 72 numbers there, so keep an eye on those. But this is where I think we're heading. I'm just going to save that, and coming up into to this space here. So on the tick chart here, just to finish this off here, I think I've done some work on well, we have, haven't we? I'll just bring this into the fold here. So in terms of counting it up, we've got wave 1, wave 2 in green, wave 3 here that we spoke about last time, and we had this as wave 4 over here. Obviously wave 4 got bigger and uglier, so obviously took some stops out there, but I have to stay with the count, so that's where it is. And now we'll be looking for 5 waves up here. So as I mentioned, one of the important numbers here to be looking at would be this number here, 12.7. Just put that in red because it's a 72 number, and yeah, that one, and also the other one up here is 772 here, so I'll just leave those there. So I don't know, yeah, we've got to count the waves as we go here. So currently we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 and 2 here, and we're looking up at wave 3. I need to pull that apart further here, but look, basically this is a corrective pattern here, so we're going to be making new highs above here. So if I'd spoke earlier, we could have gone long here, but we had the green line here to go long on, so that's fine too. In fact, we wouldn't have been stopped out because we wouldn't have been long at this point. But anyway, the trigger's up here, but could have got in earlier, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But anyway, we're heading higher. That's the main point there. So I won't look at the Germany mid cap, but that's same. I do want to look at the AEX as well. So the AEX on the daily chart here, this was our 38.2% retracement level, roughly into the 500 area here. And this correction, it could get bigger and uglier here, but basically I know that we've got an A and a B and a C wave in here. Now this is the low on the cash market here, not this one, so I'm okay with taking that there as the low here. The move up here is the same as the DAX and the other European markets. This is our target area in this box here, so it can turn from this point here, but I think that we're just going to be basically continuing up higher here. It's possible that we can come, into this box here or even higher and then come back down through here. But I think that because this is in three waves here, it's going to be a flat correction. So a flat correction, which makes this a little bit trickier, is that a flat correction is when you have a move coming up here, you can either, in the first move down the A wave, it can be either in 3 waves or 5 waves, all right? So if it's in 3 waves here, then it can be the ABC and then just go straight up from that's finished there. But otherwise, it's going to be a flat correction. And then a flat correction makes the B wave in 3 waves, as a B wave always is, and then a C wave in 5 waves here. And what if the reason they call it a flat correction is because basically it's flat like this here. So I don't think we should take too much notice of the 61.8% mark here. We're either going to go straight up from here, or we're going to have this flat correction. As a flat correction, then we would have something like, a move up into this space here, back again, up into this space again, and then down here, something like that. So I don't know that yet, and wave 4s can get sort of complicated. But looking at the S&P 500 and the US banking sector, I don't know why, has definitely got some influence over the euro markets. Obviously, money flowing from space to space, but in that case, we should be heading straight up here, and this is the same for France as well, as such, but slightly a different count here, but the same thing as well. We've got the A, the B, and the C wave here, and we should be heading higher up above this high here. So we'll just keep building higher in this case. But let's see how we go. I know that we're going to make a new high above this one here in the short term. So all day traders can basically stay long on France for the moment. And the UK market, where is it? Legoland, here we go. The same here as well. It's a little bit sort of odd because I've got a count up here for 5 waves up here, but I know that the UK market can be separate from the European side of things and from the American side of things, and it does have a strong relationship with the Australian markets. That said, all I'm really saying is it can get out of whack much further than a euro exchange in the eurozone. But here, I still, even as this is a pretty dogged sort of corrective market coming down here, but at the same time we've accounted for every single little wave that's moved in down through here. As rough as it's been, I felt that we've tracked this pretty well, considering the choppiness of it all. We're not going to turn bearish on this, as I've mentioned many times, unless we're under the 7.3 here. So the move up here, I can only assume we're going to be going higher up through here. I've looked on the tick chart here. I thought I had 3 waves on this little move up, but it's actually 5 waves here. So up for 1 and back for 2. So we should be moving higher up to here. So any tested support that you can see on 7,400 here, then move in on the long side there. And of course the target is either this trend line coming through here or the 7.5 at that point. But if you do get in early here, the way to do it is to look at 7.4 on tick chart or few minute chart or whatever, and once it's tested and got that and you know what that means. So just as an example here, here's a line across here. The market will find itself either doing this here and going up here, or it will just go straight up here. But either way, you want that first high above the level here, above the 7.4 here, and then you can move in. That will either be at at number 7,405 or 10, because one's strongest number than 5. But you need that reference point because it helps you understand the retest here in picture form, in pretty pictures. Otherwise, you'd read the volume off the futures market or the banks or whatever. So yeah, scale in through 10, 20 and 30, and if you get 30 as support up here, then you know that you're going to be going 7,430, then you know that you're going to be going higher from that point. You can add on that again. You can take some profit at 50, or just wait for the correction to occur across that level and look to add again at that point. I find profit taking should be at number 8, and then the next whole number at this point here. All right, I'll leave it at that. It's a bit of a long video, but I think we've covered it pretty accurately. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.